History and culture. Who were the Maya? Decoding the ancient civilization's secrets. The pyramid-building Maya reigned over much of Central America. Today, descendants keep Maya history alive, a sign of resilience. This sculpture of the head of a Mayan warrior found in the Temple of the Inscriptions at Palenque, Mexico. One of the largest and best-preserved Mayan pyramids, the temple was a mausoleum for 7th-century ruler Kinich Janab Pakal. De Agostini via Getty Images. By Aaron Blakemore. October 9, 2025. Evidence of Mayan civilization was everywhere, beneath a Spanish convent, underneath a street. Most of it was covered in vines and vegetation, reclaimed by the jungle. The British-American explorers combing through the Yucatan Peninsula in the 1830s and 1840s had no idea who built these mysterious sites but soon became convinced that they were major archaeological treasures. Discarded and abandoned, the function of these sites and artifacts, temples, pyramids, remnants of art and even writing, was mostly unknown. Nonetheless, wrote John Lloyd Stephens in 1841, they all seem to be the work of the same group of people. Who these races were, whence they came, or who were their progenitors, I did not undertake to say, nor did I know, he conceded. The Maya were a towering Mesoamerican civilization that had once covered much of Central America, from northern Belize through Guatemala and southern Mexico. Much more is now known about the group responsible for some of the greatest feats of its kind. Maya people cultivated the region's first crops and domesticated wildlife, built its first cities, and either created or refined almost every aspect of modern civilization. Though their descendants have preserved some of their culture's traditions and lore, much of the history of the Maya remains as mysterious today as it did centuries ago when their secrets were still hiding in plain sight. Origins of the Maya. While the origins of Maya culture remain murky, it's thought to have first emerged between 700 BC and 2000 BC, when hunter-gatherers abandoned their nomadic habits and created more permanent settlements. Recent analyses suggest that those first settlers came from South America and likely developed their staple food, maize. By 400 BC, maize cultivation dramatically changed the Maya's trajectory, literally fueling the explosion of their society and culture. A reproduction of one of the complex and colorful murals covering the walls of the Temple of Murals in Bonampak, a Mayan archaeological site in Chiapas, Mexico. Across the building's 3 rooms, the murals tell stories of war and celebration in the ancient empire. Henri Stierlin/Bildarchiv Stephens/Bridgman Images. These newcomers didn't just plant corn, they also learned to prepare it for human consumption. They did this with nixtamalization, a process in which dried maize is soaked, then cooked in an alkaline solution that softens corn and renders it more digestible. The Maya would go on to cultivate other important vegetables like squash, cassava, and beans. The Maya seem to have developed alongside, and traded ideas with, the neighboring Olmec civilization, which some consider one of the most influential societies of ancient times. In search of the lost empire of the Maya. Researchers believe this is when the Maya adopted the ritual complexes for which they would become famous. Like the Olmec, ancient Maya soon focused on building cities around their ritual areas. These advancements in agriculture and urban development are now known as the Maya's preclassic period between 1500 and 200 BC. As Maya society further developed, they laid the foundations for complex trade routes, advanced irrigation, water purification and farming techniques, warfare, sports, writing, and a complex calendar. The intricate Mayan calendar included 3 dating systems, one for the gods, one for civil life, and a third astronomical calendar known as the Long Count. The starting point of this third calendar was set at the legendary date of humans' creation, corresponding to August 11, 3114 BC. The Long Count calendar began a new cycle on December 21, 2012, leading to a myth that the world would end on that date. Despite urban legends and long-standing misinterpretations of Maya lore, however, the shift in calendar cycle didn't bring doomsday with it. This massive Mayan ceremonial complex was discovered in plain sight. Key achievements. During the classic Maya period, 200 to 900 AD, the Maya civilization reached its peak. So did its architecture. The Maya refined its pyramid-like temples and grand buildings that appear to be palaces, though it's unclear if they were actually used as elite residences or if they served some other function. Maya region. Map. Area. Archaeological site. Chichen Itza. Yucatan Peninsula. Gulf of Mexico. Calakmul. Belize. Tikal. Palenque. Guatemala. Honduras. Copan. Joya de Serén. El Salvador. Pacific Ocean. NG staff. Among the most important Maya cities were Palenque, Chichen Itza, Tikal, Copan, and Calakmul. But though the Maya shared a society, it was not an empire. Instead, city-states and local rulers vacillated between peaceful coexistence and wrestling for control. Some places, such as the village of Joya de Serén, seem to have been run by collective rule instead of an elite overlord. Maya architecture and art reflected deep-seated religious beliefs. The Maya embraced the belief of Ku and Keuhul, that divinity could be found in all things, even inanimate objects. Once again, corn was vital to those beliefs. Among the most important Maya gods was Hun Hunahpu, the maize god, and Maya tradition held that the deities created humans first out of mud, then wood, then corn. A ceramic statue of a Mayan noblewoman in the Museo Nacional de Antropología in Mexico City, Mexico. Henri Stierlin/Bildarchiv Stefan/Bridgman Images. A ceramic and painted statue of a seated bearded Mayan man, created in the civilization's late Classic period, c. 600 to 900 AD. JBH Henderson Memorial Fund/Bridgman Images. The Maya worshipped their gods with a variety of rituals. Among them were both human sacrifice and bloodletting, customs that capture modern imaginations. The Maya sport of pits, a forerunner of soccer, had its own ritual implications.